am the... This isn't the first time I've done this, because I'll get into the story. But I am now officially the Goon Lord of the Four Horsemen. That's right. I am the Goon Lord of the Four Horsemen. I lost my train of thought because this isn't the first time I've recorded the video. And the reason why I had to re-record it, and I felt very violated at the end of the first recording, was because I was in the middle of watching something and I was doing my reaction to it and all this other rest, which is this video, and I swallowed a bug. And I was trying to do the video and it got stuck on my throat and I kept coughing. So I stopped the video, went and got a drink, had a drink, and then a bug got in the drink and then I... It was disgusting. And then my editing software, or actually my recording software, went wrong because, well, it wasn't working properly. So I spent hours trying to fix that. So it's just been like endless just hassles. Hassles, 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 hassles. I'm sick of this stuff. I'm just sick of it. Okay? I'm sick. I hate new computers. I hate having to change everything over to a new PC. Because it's right here. It's glowy. It's nice. Do you want to see it? 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 See this bad boy? How many fans can I fit in this bad boy? That's that meme with the car. 7 that glow. I didn't even know the graphics card glowed, but hey, you learn something new every day. It's beautiful. It's magical. It's mystical. The funny thing is the microphone isn't on. Well, there is a microphone on that, but you get my point. So, I'll show you a clip, which will give you context to why I am now one of the Four Horsemen. And then we'll get into Monta Sensei's video.
Also, shout out to Espiritu. I just feel bad for Espiritu, bro. Bro just be gooning in peace. Bro just be gooning in peace on Twitter, making viral clips, and now he is one of the Four Horsemen, bro. Also, shout out to Espiritu.
And there you have it. I'm one of the Four Horsemen. Officially, I am so feared that they have now put me on a hit list. And by the way, there are actually some people that were in those tweets saying that they wanted me dead. I was like, me gooning's this much of a crime? Damn, son. Damn. But we'll get into Monta Sensei's video, which is the thing. I wanted to go over Cow Cow's video, but I also want to go over Monta Sensei's video. So I have to pick one or the other. Do I give content to Cow Cow, or do I give some attention to Monta Sensei? But I really want to talk about Monta Sensei's more because there's some points that like he really emphasized on this in specific context to clips. And so it's kind of like I can't really do both, but I kind of want to do both. So maybe I might do a stream at some point going over all of that, but I'm trying to set everything up. Everything's taking a while to set up, a lot longer than anticipated. So, oh, also the thing that I brought in with me that you saw in my hands, look at these bad boys. Oh yeah, I got these yesterday? Dance in the Vampire Bund, The Age of the Scarlet Crusade. So this isn't the main story. This is like as a continuation from the main story. So, because the main story is down here. Oh, because I actually read books, unlike someone else that we're about to talk about. I actually do read books. Look at that bad boy. That's just one of 5. I need to reread it. It's a good series. Dance in the Vampire Bund. The anime is a bit different though, so I highly recommend reading the manga. Getting your hands on this though, good luck. Good luck. I had to go on eBay to get these, and I still have to get volume 3 on eBay before I can get the rest on a distribution site for Australia. So I can't really recommend the site that I use unless you're an Australian, and in that case it's Booktopia. But yeah, so I'm trying to get those because I love Dance in the Vampire Bund. Here's the thing, I'm not actually really that big of a lolly type person, but I really like Mina Tepish. Just something about her as a character. She's very flirtatious, she's very fun, very charismatic. It's got that also that she's like really like strong. And I've got a figure of her too. At some point I'll do an unboxing. Maybe what I can do is do an unboxing of the figure and go over the story for Dance in the Vampire Bund all in one. But I just don't know if people are interested in that kind of content. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I can do heaps of content. I could do content all day, all night on certain specific things, but I just don't know if people are that interested in it. Like, manga content's depending on what you cut. Like, this is a very niche series. To be very clear, it's very niche. I feel like Joey right now being all hipster, like, look at me. I'm into some pretty elitist stuff. I actually made a friend... God, I'm getting into a story, actually. If Monta Sensei is watching this, he'll know who I'm referring to. The friend that I made through this series is the Halloween boobs chick. That's right, the Halloween... Which she also watches my content, because she knew about my new computer, because she mentioned about it. And so it's like, yeah. I met her at a convention, and we just, like, were talking on the train when going home, because we were, like, in the same direction, and she liked Dance of the Vampire Bun, I liked Dance of the Vampire Bun, and we became friends. And I was her best man at her wedding. See, that's where friendships go. So, yes, fun trivial facts about my life. We're 6 minutes in and we hadn't even got to the point of the video yet. Here's my other channel where apparently I don't do anime content. I'm just going to say that before we move on. And let's get into Monta Sensei's video. Just make sure all the sound's good because of all the settings.
Trying to protect, preserve anime and defend it is like a full-time job. Because the amount of people, the tourists, posers, and activist-minded types aren't taking a day off from wanting to destroy it, claiming how...
That they're not, because they're constantly getting angry. Now I'm on a hit list. Now I'm on the 4 Horsemen list. And I like it. I actually really like being called the 4 Horsemen. It just makes me feel so... magnamic is the word? Like, I feel so powerful, even though I'm a nobody. Dude, this channel was dead a couple of months ago. I've revived it from the ashes of nothing, and now I'm like feared. I went from a nobody news anchor channel, and now I'm like the most feared person, where it's like I'm the boogeyman. It's not even a joke. I found out that they're actually crashing out because I grew heaps from this drama.
How it's problematic, politically incorrect, wanting to compare you to a criminal if you dare to watch. And these people only consume entertainment, not for the sake of being entertained, but only to be offended, looking for reasons to find it immoral. Then be the first to social media to whine and cry about it. And no matter how far they go, I'm still amazed by how far they'll reach to find ways to do so. One cancerous plague that is currently happening to anime has been diagnosed as the name LN Historian, or more accurately, L Historian, has been going out of his...
I totally didn't tell him to say that, by the way. Yeah, boy. He probably would have said it anyway.
Way to do this within the past week or so. But luckily, common sense, the cure to this plague has prevailed, giving him immense backlash, deservedly so.
Actually, I want to reread that, because I did read it in the last... Man, this guy must be absolutely boring to talk to. Newsflash, trying to make One Piece a political work narrative, its scope down to drastically. And I actually saw his original shorts video on it, and it was very obvious what he was trying to do. And this is why doing the Cow Cow video and this video are kind of the same, because there's a lot of points from both, and that's why I wanted to show this video, because there's a lot of context that Monta Sensei's got here. But one of the actual shorts videos that he goes over, he basically forces politics into One Piece and saying the reason why people don't want One Piece to be political, and we're talking real world politics here, by the way. There's a difference between politics, like Dance of the Vampire Bun has politics in it, but it's within its own story, within its own universe. Is it real world politics? No. Is there some inspiration from real world politics? Sure. But it's not a one-to-one, and it's not some hidden message of real world politics. It's just take some inspiration from some events that go on and build a new world and story around it. That's what it is. And this is the thing. People try to correlate, oh, but this show's actually political because it has this small amount of politics in it. It's like, yes, but that's not real world politics. That's not what's currently, and it's because what they try and do, for example, Free Ran, they try and turn it into some political weird hijacking and being like, actually, this is racism because these demons should actually have real emotions and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, why are you shoving weird politics and ideology in it when it doesn't need to be there? And when we criticize them for it, then they come after us and say, oh, we're all these buzzwords. But in the specifics of One Piece, he basically says people that don't want it to be political are those that are on the wrong side. And he basically goes on a hero complex where he's basically trying to paint himself as the right side of history and that he's a hero and that if you don't agree with him, you're actually a bad person, that you're on the evil side. And that's the thing, he's actually painting us as all these buzzwords, and he's not directly saying it, he's insinuating it. And it's the same thing they do constantly, and he does it all the time. He's insinuating anyone that doesn't agree with him is all these buzzwords: racist, the T word, the N word, and I'm not talking the race one, I'm talking the World War II one. Like, all these buzzwords, right? You name them. That's what he's referring to us as. And he'll turn around and say, oh no, that's just misrepresenting. But he defended a guy that insinuated that people were the P word, which even Monta Sensei covered, for wanting to buy a free-ran half-naked figure. The same with the Nezuko, which was in her adult form. The guy insinuates that we're the P word by saying we need to have our hard drive checked, and then he goes and defends it, goes, why are you so pressed? You shouldn't defend fan service. And this is the thing that I was wanting to talk about in the Cow video, is that Cow believes that he only has an issue with lollies. No, he has a problem with fan service as well. And I'll get into more of that because I know up to a certain point what Monta Sensei says, because the bug thing.
Luckily, common sense, the cure to this plague, has prevailed, giving him immense backlash, deservedly so, breaking down his idiotic activist takes like so many of them.
Which, by the way, is why it's really weird that he got so, like, bent out of shape about me, because I really didn't say that much about anything. I've not interacted with him since last year, which was to do with the 4 light novels that he compared to another 4 light novels, and he openly admitted that out of the 8 of them, he had only read 2, which means he hadn't read 6. I know, I'm doing basic math. Yeah, and one of them was Mushoku Tensei. He called it trash last year, and now suddenly it's good, but it's problematic. And this again follows the same suit, is that if he has problems with lolly characters and fan service in some shows, then why isn't he going after other shows? Because it's a grift.
It's kind.
I find it pretty strange how some people in the anime community push the idea that if you don't defend fan service or the adult framing of minors in
the adult framing of minors, which is just, he's being intellectually dishonest, because the issue that people have is where fan service is being removed out of shows that it should be in. So they look at the source material and they go, oh, this source material has this specific scene in it, but it's not the same to the actual anime, and it seems to be they've deliberately removed it. Why? And it's always fan service. All people want is a loyal adaptation from the source material to the anime, and then he gets butthurt and pressed and goes, oh, well, you should defend censorship because I don't like it, so it should be removed. And if you don't agree with me, you're the P word, and oh, you just like children being put in weird positions, but it's not. Because in this specific context there, is that he's kind of hinting at the My Dress Up Darling drama, which again, it was simply her being in a little bit more of a, hey, she was changing into some seductive stuff, and they censored it out. Again, she's not a child, so you're being disingenuous, El Historian. Yet again, you do that quite a lot. That is a track record of you. You're intellectually dishonest, you deliberately take things out of context, you deliberately constantly frame things in a way that can be interpreted in multiple different frames so you can null and void any criticism, and anytime there is criticism, you scream racism or wear the P word, because you are so intellectually dishonest and so intellectually inept that you cannot stand on your own 2 feet. And you know how I know that is true? Because your own fans don't even know half of the stuff that you stand by. They just kind of go, oh yeah, he kind of said this thing, I'm not really sure. Because yeah, they don't even know what you believe. They're just so parasocial because hating anime is cool now, and you've jumped on the bandwagon.
Anime, then you're automatically an anime tourist.
Which you are a tourist, and you hate the word. But I got a better word, you're a cultural parasite.
These people are more common than you might think, and it's reached a point where some genuinely believe that if you don't want fan service in anime, then you don't belong in the community.
And you don't belong in the community. No, what you're advocating for is censorship, and you're advocating if it's something in a show you don't like, well, if you go to a show and you don't like something, then it should be removed. And if you disagree and the person wants the authentic version, then you're the problem. That's what you're saying. You're saying we're the problem for wanting the authentic version. That's like, again, going to a mangas like this and cutting half of it out, and you saying, yes, it should be cut out because I don't like it. And I'm going, well, no, I want the original authentic version. And you go, well, you're just problematic and you're an issue and you want to do this, this, and this. And oh, you're a P word. You're an intellectually dishonest hypocrite. You are insanely hypocritical. And the funny thing is none of your fans have the intellect, neither yourself, to stand on 2 feet defending this. Because you know that you're just blindly following some doctrine.
Community. What is this new level of gatekeeping?
By some people, of course,
And by the way, he doesn't mind gatekeeping when it suits him. But he doesn't like it when the gatekeeping is on him.
he means fans, along with the creators themselves, with the author of one of the most beloved animes, Kill la Kill, defending the idea of fan service himself.
Listen
And just
to
by
him
me
say
saying
voices is
Ryuko
sweet.
or Yoko's waifu will make this frail-minded type have a panic attack and demand I go to prison because he thinks these characters are real people.
Yeah, he's right. Because he is on again, multiple occasions referred to us as the P word for liking things that he sees as problematic. But yet again, he goes, why are you so pressed? Because maybe some of us are tired of being referred to as some pretty heinous things that you just seem to brush off as, oh, well, it's just okay because I'm allowed to call you anything under the sun and be toxic, but anytime I receive criticism, that's toxicity. You're a hypocrite.
It's not fucking real, right?
No one is asking you to defend it. What people are requesting is if you don't like it or get offended by anime titties, then go somewhere else. Stop trying to be the buzzkill in the room, pointing out at every turn what offends you. It's people like you sucking the fun out of entertainment today, or what true fans enjoy, mature enough to not take it so damn seriously and literal.
And as for anime in general, I've been a part of the community for over 13 years.
I don't care how long you've been watching anime, which by your claim it's been 13 years, that just means you've been a fake fan for way too long. I don't care if it's been 50 years. I'd rather hear the take of someone who just became a fan yesterday finding joy in it over you who can now only view it through a is this politically correct lens.
And that's the thing, I don't care if you've been in the anime community for a day, a week, a month, a year, 100 years. I don't care if you're free ran, as long as you come into my house and you're replacing, what's that? The reality is, I don't care how long you've been in anime for. The problem that we have with people like him is that suddenly he has this issue where everything is problematic, everything needs to be... And I'm sure at some point he probably did like anime, but because he's built himself so much on this grift of, I have to find problematic problems, it's like professional Karens, where they wake up every day and they go, what can I be offended by that I can then whine about? And then when people call him out for it, he then tries and flips the script and goes, oh, you're just political, and oh, you're just the problem with the anime community. Says the guy going around calling everyone the P word.
That's it, I had enough.
You probably started off as an actual fan, but have been converted into the activist-minded type over the years.
Agreed.
You're like a person raised in Japan with a healthy upbringing, loving everything about their culture, then studies abroad, going to an activist college in the West, gets heavily indoctrinated with politically correct ideology, now socially conditioned to only view the world through a narrow, problematic lens. Then comes back to Japan, a place they naturally love growing up in, but can now only point out how problematic and oppressive it is. That's what it sounds like you become relating to anime.
Like, I swear nowadays you cannot criticize anything about anime without these people jumping you. For example, if I criticize something like Mushoku Tensei or Rudius, who, let's be honest, has some really problematic aspects, these
Really problematic aspects, but he claims that he read the entire series only a year after he claimed he hadn't, and yet, again, claims there's all these problematic aspects. Then why did you read it if it's so problematic? The reason why he's saying that he's read it all is so that he can use it as a shield to criticize things and say, well, you can't criticize my criticism because I know what's best because I read the source material. And this is the whole problem with his narcissism and his ego, is again, he keeps trying to use cheap defensive techniques to blockade any criticism on himself. Because the moment he receives criticism, it's instantly hatred. But by his own standards of what he classifies hatred, he's no better. If anything, he is substantially worse because he has said some of the heinous things towards people that he doesn't agree with. Again, the P word. Oh, I don't directly say that. No, you insinuate it constantly. And he deliberately does it so that he can weaponize his audience to go after us and call us the P word and then feigns ignorance. This is why people are calling you a tourist. Because it's very clear that you're just grifting off of this whole new political rubbish and a lot of us are sick of it. Like, I feel like I'm the antibody to this disease that you are within the anime community. And you're trying to turn other parts of the system against the antibody because you're mad because people are fed up with your disingenuous, hypocritical narcissism.
Tourists will get mad at me, dismiss everything I say, then label me the tourist. And it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. I read the entire novel.
That's exactly it. He uses it as defense. Oh, well, I know what I'm talking about, so you should listen to what I say because I know better than you. That's exactly what he's trying to paint. This whole narrative that he is an intellectual genius, that he knows better. Because, surprise, surprise, oh, I've read the source material. It was only a year ago you said to us that you hadn't. So now you suddenly have. Or is it that you've just read it, pretending to read it so that you can use it as a scapegoat to null and void criticism? Because yet again, as you seem to do, only criticism is allowed when you're the one dishing it out or your mutuals are the ones dishing it out. Anytime there's criticism back, oh no, that's just blind hate.
Issue is that some people won't let you point out its problematic elements.
It's not problematic, you're just an idiot. That's why. It's a reflection of the real world and the imperfect nature of humans. You just don't like stories that are too complex, which is why you have to ham-fist politics into it, because you're so shallow and so surface level is your personality that you've built your entire personality and identity around politics and screaming that everything's problematic, because there is no real personality or identity behind you other than politics. That's your problem. You need to actually build a personality outside of that one identity. But because you have nothing else and you need to compensate for that lack of intelligence, you ham-fist politics into everything that you can find.
Or how the author sometimes attempts to normalize them. You guys need to
The
realize—
author has never normalized it, which demonstrates that you have not read the light novels. Thank you for proving my point. The author goes out of his way to actually do the opposites. You would know that if you actually read the light novels. It points out the imperfect nature of humans and how we cope and deal and move on with the imperfect nature of humans. You know, an actual real psychologist did a full breakdown on this. Right? You do know that, right, El Historian? A real psychologist actually did a full breakdown and defended Mushoku Tensei for all its problematic elements that you claim are in there. So who am I going to listen to? Some disingenuous hypocrite that pretends to be a pseudo-intelligence that lives off of politics? Or an actual psychologist? Yeah, I'm more likely to lean on the psychologist side, the one that's actually got the academics, that actually has the intelligence and actually has the intellect to actually show and prove it. Not just make shitty straw man arguments.
that criticism doesn't make you a bad fan.
Says the guy that screams anytime that you receive criticism that they're a bad person. You're again a hypocrite.
Just means you care enough to think critically about the media you consume.
You don't think critically, you're trying to ham-fist politics and demand for censorship. That's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to code it as a different coat of paint or mask it as something else.
This goes to my point, highlighting the difference between how an activist-minded person consumes entertainment versus how an actual fan consumes it. A fan will focus on story, if certain themes are consistent, character development, is there too much power creep, who should have gotten together, while an activist-minded person basically obsesses over if it's politically correct or not. How come?
Exactly. And that's his entire identity. Is this politically correct or not? Oh, well, should this be allowed in the show? Is this inclusive enough? He's not interested in real, deep, meaningful stories with actual complex characters. He wants shallow stories where he can shove politics in it and paint a message that he's a hero.
There's not enough representation.
He's trying to LARP as some hero within a story, which honestly is the pure definition of a weeb/weeaboo. He can't differentiate the difference between fiction and reality, and he's trying to make this fiction a reality in his mind so that he can play hero.
This story promotes the damsel in distress. Why are the women in here sexualized and cater to the male gaze? Even when it's a woman author, they accuse her of.
Which, funny enough, that individual account, that's a lolly icon. They complained about lollies. Then when they got exposed for it, they changed it to a different display picture. Then got called out for the fact that they were so ashamed of it that they changed it. They then whined and then changed it back. These people don't believe in the things that they stand for. They just constantly want to pander to a group that they themselves don't even like so that they can fit in. And that's the thing. They don't really believe in these things. They're just pandering to a group that they themselves don't even like. But they have to pander to it, or else the mob comes for them.
Of internal misogyny, because no way would a woman want to see attractive female.
And this is the type of stuff, by the way, that Elle historians trying to defend censoring. Because, again, there are things that have been criticized that have been changed and altered throughout My Dress Up Darling. And people in season 1 that screamed for censorship because it was too fan servicey. This is the stuff that Elle historian defends. Censorship.
Characters themselves. I miss the days when people had a healthy understanding of what they were watching. There wasn't this quick to heaven and anxiety attack at the first sight of fan service, being offended by the feminine physique itself, or obsession over a character's age, fictional I might add. And
which is the one thing that Elle historian does a lot of. I don't really think he reads that. I've been told he doesn't read that many light novels, which is kind of ironic because it probably proves that I've read more light novels than him.
Animated, I might add. I mentioned this in the previous video, the reality versus fiction debate in anime is stupid, but I'll do so again for this one because I feel it's relevant to the topic. When it came to live action shows back in the day that took place in a high school setting, everyone understood that the actors playing them were adults, where it became a joke that you had actors in their 30s playing high school characters.
Yeah, they cast people in the late 20s, early 30s to play us.
Shows like Vampire Diaries, Riverdale, even movies having scenes with the women in lingerie, sexually explicit, not taking the shit so seriously. It seems everyone just had a common sense understanding of what they were watching, while knowing, of course, these are adults. What's puzzling to me is why people like this can't apply that same logic to anime, which is much easier to do because it's not even real people, it's animated characters.
Dumbass.
I've said this before, but my crush in Vampire Diaries was Bonnie and Caroline, who played characters who are younger than me, but in real life are actually older than me.
Think about that.
The fact I even had
That's me right now. Think about that. You learn something new every day.
to explain this lets me know we are dealing with a lost generation of people suffering from brain rot and horrible social upbringing.
You've been on the internet for far too long. Put the phone down, go outside, bask in a little bit of vitamin D.
Unable to just
You know what's really funny is Joey's really becoming a little bit more based as of late. I wonder if Joey's coming back to the dark side. I really actually think he might be actually getting back into anime. I want to see old school Joey. That's the thing. I want to see old school Joey again. I know some people don't like Joey. I've criticized him for some of his takes. Definitely still jaded about the Data Live comment that he made. I'm going to hold that until my grave. It's going to be on my tombstone. Joey said Data Live's trash. I'm coming for him in the afterlife. He didn't really say that, but I'm paraphrasing. But I think Joey's one of those that he became kind of jaded at the anime community because of the toxicity, because of people like this that are constantly screaming censorship. And I think maybe Joey is finally going to get back into the arena and be like, you know what? Maybe it's time to start doing some cooking. I hope he does. I hope he actually comes back to the based side, because I think it'd be beautiful. It'd be amazing content to behold. Because that's kind of what I like to do on this channel. I like to try and do a little bit of like Joey old school style content mixed in with a little bit of different stuff as well. Because I liked that. I like that whole sitting in the camera, just talking, having a one-on-one conversation with the viewers. And I want to do that further with streaming.
just relax and enjoy something, but like an addict only looking for ways to problematize and be offended by it. I truly pity you people.
In his latest video, he actually compares anime tourists to the colonization of the Americas. Are we serious right now? You are really comparing anime becoming mainstream to the death of millions and countless atrocity.
Which Joey didn't. It was an analogy. And that's what's so frustrating about El Historian. And Kiao even called him out on this. Kiao really honed in on this and said, hey, you are being insanely like twisting words there. You're trying to force words in where it wasn't. And he just like went, oh, you're just deliberately misinterpreting. It's like he's so intellectually dishonest. It is such a... And that's the thing, even when I watched Joey's video talking about the Taurus topic, even I knew Joey was just doing an analogy. Everyone did, except the most disingenuous hypocrites out there, which, surprise, surprise, were all hard left-leaning political activists. El Historian and Weeb Crew both twisted and lied about what Joey said, and Weeb Crew deliberately left the context out of his clip, which demonstrates that they are deliberately trying to flame toxicity and hatred to the anime community, which, again, falls under that point that El Historian constantly whines as the anime community is toxic when they criticize him, but he's willing to flame hatred towards other content creators by being dishonest about what they're saying.
My guy, chill. It's really not that deep, okay? Completely misconstruing the point that I made, not understanding what an analogy is, and making it way too overly political for you.
And I think this is one of the reasons why Joey became a lot more jaded at the anime community. And I think why he's taken such a step back over those years is because of people like this. Because this isn't the first time people have tried to twist what Joey has said. And I think in part it has made him a little bit jaded, which has made him say things that are a little bit stupid. And I think it'd just be nice to see Joey come back and really like toughen up that skin and go into these conversations and wreak havoc. Because again, it'd be great content. You don't have to like Joey, but I just want old school Joey back.
Your own good is just not my problem.
People like this really lends weight to the drop in IQ in recent years. A person who gets offended by an analogy like this, rather than understanding the point being made by it, there really is no hope for you. You're the type that whenever an analogy is used with the example of a dog or car or a house, your response is, "What are you saying, I'm a dog? But I'm not a child." Having a blockade in your head preventing you from understanding.
And I've actually seen some of his fans do that as well, where you use an analogy and they'll just take it literal because they don't want to be honest. Or it's that, or they're just stupid. And I don't think El Historian is that stupid. I just think he's been deliberately dishonest to try and frame things in the worst way possible to fuel toxicity. Because if he is generally this stupid, then God help us all.
Processing the point being made. And what makes it worse, you're acting out the example in his analogy. So the person who needs to receive this message the most is unable to do so, which I can only
That's why he hates the word tourist. He really hates it.
assume is due to a mental deficiency.
Dumbass.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
This guy's the type that whenever an actual fan who he labels as extremist, which is an activist political tactic, points out people corrupting the art they love, he gets mad at you for noticing. Stating the Bocchi the Rock scandal, he mentions himself where an activist who has a history of corrupting many pieces of work said the quiet part out loud, admitting to their activist ways with her infiltrating the creative field.
Which, by the way, multiple writers, including the Mushoku Tensei one, came out criticizing it. And that's the thing. The writer from Mushoku Tensei has always stated that they're not going to change their medium just because of activists. And this is why I just don't believe El Historian has read Mushoku Tensei. Because he fails at the basics of understanding what Mushoku Tensei is about. Again, he doesn't have to read it. If he finds it so problematic, go read something you think is to your taste. But he doesn't. He deliberately looks for things that are problematic and then proceeds to whine about them, or finds things that he can politicize and weaponize to paint this hero complex. Because again, anime, manga, and light novels have been hijacked by people like him to turn into nothing more than some microphone to try and paint themselves as some hero of the people and attack the wider anime community for getting tired of this rubbish.
Check out my video on that, which I break down in good detail. He's the type that goes along with these localizers corrupting translations and again gets mad at you for noticing. He will probably be best friends with Jamie Marchi, using language similar to her.
You like to respond to that kind of criticism?
To the criticism, like, I have a vagina, deal with it. I am a woman, deal with it. I'm sorry you're not getting laid. It's not about you, move on. If I'm making misogynists and Nazis angry, then I'm doing all right.
This is the same one that got caught up in a scandal as well. These are activists, and that's why they go through people's intellectual property and vandalize it, and then paint themselves as a hero, and then people like El Historian sit there and champion them and say, yeah, they should be allowed to vandalize other people's intellectual property because we know what's best for you.
Probably using these videos as a resume to get in her circle, which would explain his hatred for
And I think that's one of the reasons why these content creators do this, is because if they act in it, it's like a cult, it's like do a ritual. If I say this and I do this and I act in this way and I do this little dance, that group will accept me in and I'll be allowed to become part of the Kool-Aid and I'll be able to get that free press because they're all trying to gang up and attack other content creators. That's why they made that list, which is why I've been labeled one of the 4 horsemen, because they're trying to gang up on other content creators, big and small, and I think I just got put on the list because I'm an easy target, and I think sometimes people mistake my easygoing nature as weakness. You don't mistake my easygoing nature as an easy pushover. There's a reason why certain other large content creators are actually scared of me and have me blocked.
Actual fans who just want their hobbies to be left alone without someone over their shoulder bitching, constantly pointing out how they're offended by it.
I don't think you can separate art and politics, and
yeah, you can. It's very simple. You can't. We can. Because you don't have the ability to think critically.
Anime is no exception. Politics is an inherent aspect of art itself.
No, it's not. Philosophy is an inherent part of art. Politics is not. There's a difference. Read a book, seeing as you clearly don't.
He's the type that obsesses with wanting to politicize anime.
And that was the point that I said before. His whole personality is built behind politics because that's becoming his whole identity. He can't separate politics and anime because his entire life and an identity evolves around politics. So everything has to have politics involved because it's his only form of identity. And so he compensates for the lack of intelligence by forcing it in and using it as some, well, I'm so smart because I know a lot about politics, but he doesn't. It's a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of wisdom, and it's just that lack of intelligence. So he's compensating for it, which is why he's mustered an audience that lack also intelligence, and why they can't formulate proper thoughts without sounding like they're having a stroke. And the great example is that he's been getting cooked on YouTube, he's getting cooked on X or Twitter, he's getting even cooked on Facebook sometimes as well. I've seen a couple of posts out there where people are just laughing at him. But you know the one place he's not getting cooked on, that he claims he's not getting cooked on? TikTok. It's not something to be proud of. But I've also been told apparently he's kind of telling porkies there, and he is actually getting cooked even on TikTok. I think the only places really he's not going to get cooked are within his own echo chamber, which would be the comments of his own videos or shorts, because that's the audience that he's mustered, is those lacking in intelligence.
Not knowing the difference when fans say keep your politics out of entertainment versus enjoying stories that have political themes unique to that story at hand. We're sick of people like you, along with journalists, finding ways to bring modern politics into
That's another reason why journalists do it as well, because it's good clicks. It angers and provokes. It's toxicity. And that's why I believe El Historian is doing that. He's trying to provoke negative emotions by ham-fisting in politics because he knows it provokes people, even if it shouldn't be there.
Anime, saying things like Freerin promotes Nazi propaganda. Is the author racist because of this?
Yeah, and that was something that was done by another content creator as well. That individual content creator stalked me for several weeks on X because I absolutely cooked them and made them look like a clown show. The more I actually think about it now, I kind of understand why I am on the list. It's not because I'm big, it's just because I'm really good at trolling people. Yeah. Having that realization, I'm a little bit too good at what I do.
Rama is a transgender allegory.
Ugh.
Link is a gay icon.
Yeah,
Spy Family promotes heteronormativity and unalive.
I called Connor out for that. That got him angry at me.
T people.
What? Stop it. Get some help.
Or on the other hand, is somehow queer coded. Apothecary Diaries is.
I love Apothecary Diaries. I hate the fact that they tried to make it feminist. I told him about that, so I'm glad he found the articles and the stuff about it. I need to start. I want to read. I've been wanting to start reading this days ago. Haven't got to it yet because everything around my life has been chaotic. Cat got bladder infection again. Building your computer. The garden needs to be fixed up because it's infested with weeds. I should show you the photo of it. Holy moly, it's bad. The weeds are like taller than me. So I've been out. Yeah, I want to read Apothecary Diary.
The feminist show when the women characters are the most cruel in that story.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, actually, on that topic, is like people will say, Apothecary Diary is actually political. Yeah, it's got politics in it, but it's got nothing to do with real world politics. Sure, it has inspirations to structures and stuff, but again, it's not a one-to-one of real world. It's its own story. It's the same with, again, Dance in the Vampire Bund. It's, again, these are stories, these are fictions. They're not one-to-one. It's not a real story. It's a great fictional story, and that's the problem. They can't differentiate the difference between those because reality and fiction is something they can't break apart because they can't critically think.
Even saying Avatar is a feminist show. Stop trying to ruin the immersion of a piece of fiction, ruining it for everyone else because your activist brain is devoid of any enjoyment. The narcissism of how can I find a way to make this story suit my narrative to promote my own politics are what fans are tired of. There's enough problems in the real world and actual fans just want escapism. To be able to dive into the world of a story without someone like you trying to politicize it. Again, we're not asking you to defend it. We're just requesting if you don't like what we enjoy, you can go somewhere else and leave.
Why don't you get out? Why don't you get that?
And that's the thing. We're not saying he has to like these things. We're not saying he has to defend liking. You know, it's just as simple as if you don't like it, you see it as problematic, then don't consume it. Go find something else. But he doesn't want to. He wants to force it to be changed to fit what he wants because he believes he knows what's best. Again, it follows that narcissism problem. He thinks he knows what's best for you. He believes he is the arbiter of truth and knowledge and wisdom, and he should be able to dictate what should and shouldn't be in anime and manga and light novels. He's advocating for censorship.
Hell out. Get the fuck out!
It's that simple.
But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. It's a shame that there's an ecosystem surrounding people like this.
It's because it's profitable. That's why. Where there's an audience that's profitable. And people say that I'm some right-leaning grifter, and yet I am centre-left. I'm simply just tired of it, which is why I played that clip at the start, where I'm just a guy that wants to goon. I'm just a guy that wants to have fun. I just want to be able to chill and do my own thing. But it's just frustrating because I'm not allowed to enjoy my hobbies because apparently it makes me the P word by these people. And so when I call it out and say, no, enough's enough, leave my hobbies alone, suddenly I get put on a list. Suddenly they come after me. Suddenly they all try to gang up on me. And trust me, there are far bigger content creators that have come after me. And so, yeah, I want to leave it at that 40 minutes. So it's just frustrating. That's the problem. It's just so frustrating to see this dishonesty from these individual content creators. As well, I was so glad to see Monta Sensei talk about it. So definitely consider checking out his channel. I want him at 10k. Come on, 10k by the end of the year. Chop chop, people. And also welcome to all the new people to the channel. I know the whole drama made me much more bigger. A lot of content creators DM'd me congratulating me. I think a lot of it was just being sarcastic. It's kind of like half sarcastic, half being real. Like, congratulations. All this drama made you way bigger, and now I've gotten more attention on me. But I also want to highlight good content creators that have, you know, critical thinking and the right mindset of things. And Monta Sensei is definitely one of those. So definitely consider checking him out. And I'll definitely be continuing to do some stuff now that I've got things fixed. So love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.